The Architectural Review Board of the Town of Southampton now come to order. Welcome to the February 20th, 2024 meeting. Is Ms. Doyle on Zoom?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Would you please read the legal regulations for our hybrid meeting?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good morning. In accordance with the Town Board's adoption of Local Law Number 14 of 2022, the Board's meetings are being held both in person at Town Hall and via video conference through Zoom webinar. The link to participate in this meeting via Zoom can be found on the town's website at the Town Clerk's Agendas and Meetings portal. You can also watch the live stream video and submit written comments through the town website. For anyone attending via Zoom, if you wish to speak during the meeting, please click the raise hand icon so our moderator can grant you access to participate in the meeting. If you are there in person, when your application is called, you can come up to the table. As a reminder, please state your name and hamlet of residence for the record. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Doyle. Mr. Rump, the Vice Chair, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Certainly, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States, for the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Rump.
Very welcome, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Mr. Burke, since Mr. Jankowski is absent, would you please call the roll?
Sure. Vice Chairman Rumpf.
Yep.
Mr. Jankowski's absent. I am here. Ms. Keys.
Here.
Mr. Taglavia.
Here.
And Chairman Cherrier. Here. We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Burke. Did the board members that were present review the minutes of the February 6, 2023 meeting?
Mm-hmm.
And were there any errors or omissions?
I saw none, Mr.
Okay,
Chairman.
thank you. If there were none, do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion.
Do I hear a second? Okay, motion has been made and seconded to approve the February 6, 2023 meeting minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Thank you. Any old business come before the board before going on to the published agenda?
I have none.
If none, then we'll go on to the published agenda. The first on the agenda is a sign application, Uncle Joe's. This is the facade on Montauk Highway. Is the applicant here? Yeah, would you come up?
I'm Ted Squires from Miguel Signs in Riverhead.
Okay. Mr. Tagliavia is the lead, so would you direct your presentation to him?
Great, let's start with the front facade, please.
Okay, so this is facing Montauk Highway, correct? Facing Montauk Highway, we are proposing a 30 by 190 inch coma cell sign, which is PVC, 39.6 square feet. It will be attached to the building via washer head hardware. Everything is stainless steel, and it has been approved for, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there any questions?
Yes, this area, does it allow the logo and or any? So I believe that the logo and the advertisements of the pizza, and what is that last word on there?
Pizza and parlor.
Parlor. We typically don't allow advertisement on the signs. You can do it in the window.
This is their logo.
Yes. So
The
you can
logo
put it-
type and their logos, and they like to keep that in.
Yeah, so this zoning, you are able to put a logo in the window as long as you're within a certain percentage of the square footage of the clearance. but you cannot have a logo on your sign. So
Yeah.
it would have to just say Uncle Joe's, and any logo or advertising such as pizzeria or parlor would have to be in the window.
Do you have the present sign that's up there now? I don't believe there's a logo on it.
No, I don't think there is.
Right.
Okay.
This is what Mr. Tagliavia is referencing.
Let me see if I can find a photo of it.
Let me see
Yeah.
if I can find that. I don't seem to have that with me.
Yeah, so right now, this is the logo. It's just the lettering, and it does have some advertising on it, but no logo.
Right, well, I think, I'm remembering, see, this falls, it's the town center in Hampton Bays, and it falls into a PDD area. I believe on Montauk Highway, and anyone on the board that was around at the time we did the PTD, I think, Mr. Rump, you were there.
Yeah, I was involved with the project. There's a whole sign requirements within the PDD that must be
Right.
met, and I don't know whether this meets that. Did Marjorie look at this? Do we know?
Yes,
The sign, yeah.
yes,
Did it, and did she say that it met the sign code?
that's what she said.
She said, I didn't, but the
Okay.
logo, that's,
Yeah, that's, I don't know if
This is-
it meets
this
it.
is
because,
what-
see, Montauk Highway, from what I remember when we got this, and correct me, Mr. Rump, if I'm wrong, Montauk Highway had certain restrictions of just like
I
a
can't
name,
remember.
and that's it.
I can't remember
Whereas-
at this point.
Facing the parking lot, they were a little more lenient on putting up like pizza or something like
Mhm.
that. So,
Yeah, that would be my take on this, that we should keep it strictly to the Uncle Joe's name and remove the logos and advertisement. And on the back sign, I think because of that leniency, you could add those details.
Okay.
well, do you have
And-
the present sign?
We also
It does have the
have,
advertising on it, all the way on the right.
Yeah,
we also have a sign application for the back sign.
yeah, the parking lot.
So unless
area.
the PDD information says differently, I think we need to stick to those guidelines.
Or, I mean, what about the one he already had?
Yeah, we can allow, because that's already existing, we can allow that. If that's on Montauk Highway or the parking lot.
That's on both,
On both?
yes.
So then it's allowed on both sides.
So they can say Italian restaurant and pizza.
But we have to eliminate the logo.
Yes. Because that's
Okay.
grandfathered in.
Will I
Yeah.
have to come back to this meeting for this to be approved?
We can, if you want to change it, yes.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause
And
the letters are
in the
gonna-
meantime, I think we've got to speak to the sign inspector on
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, I would recommend us
Yeah.
getting a copy of
Yeah.
the sign code within the PDD so we know where,
Yes.
because I think we
Is that
originally
the
approved
address
the
there?
Uncle Joe's
Yeah.
sign when he moved there he came from the shopping center where the Wild by Nature
Nature
is.
is
yes.
correct, yeah.
yes,
So we approved that sign that's there. So I think we've got.
But is that within the same PDD?
No, that was
No,
one
no.
shopping center to a PDD.
I
Right.
see.
That
I
was just
see.
shopping center business,
I
Yeah.
see. I
but
see.
this was a PDD, 20 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
25 years
Mhm.
ago.
And see, the
this
difference
is not
between,
that sign that's up now is not the same sign that was done 20 years ago.
But we would have had to approve the sign
Yes,
yeah,
for the existing sign to be there.
yes,
And we go through this every time that there's
Yeah.
And the
a sign
code's
change
changed.
in that PDD.
yes, I see.
yeah, and what is the
Mhm.
logo? I can hardly see it.
It's a picture of Uncle Joe.
Of him.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Here
yeah.
you go.
You can see it.
Yeah,
a
I
picture.
don't believe we can do that because there's only a couple of areas where a caricature has been allowed because it was grandfathered. And I'm not sure whether that has changed because that logo wouldn't even be approved according to the sign code as is. So it's not considered a logo because it's a cartoon or caricature is not allowed.
I see.
Yeah, so my vote would be to resubmit so we can see the scale of the letters change to fit the sign. I imagine you don't want to shrink the
Oh, yes.
size of the
Yeah.
sign.
No, I will redesign.
And we're gonna check with a sign inspector before the next meeting
Okay.
on this. But, or Mr. Taglavia, you'll check with
Sure thing.
Miss Riley. And
I have a question, Mr.
Yes.
Chair. Mr. Squires, is the sign size the same as what's there now?
It's smaller.
It's smaller?
It's smaller. The size that's there now is 240 inches. This is 190.
yeah,
Okay. It's good to know.
The height looks a lot
Is it
And
a
it's
shorter as
smaller,
well.
yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Is it making room for the awning? Is the awning getting larger?
No, no.
Yes, that's a 10.
no, look,
No,
I mean,
it's
it's above
just,
the awning.
The proportions and the
Mhm.
materials used have dictate the
Yeah,
size.
Tim, I don't know if you saw, here's the,
Yeah.
what he's got now. Okay. All right, so we can adjourn this,
Okay.
and do you want to be put on the next?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay, fine.
All right.
What is the next meeting?
It's March
March 5th?
5th.
I will
Now,
not be here.
were you proposing this same
Okay.
sign on the back as well?
Yes.
Now, what
There is
we'll
a-
also look into what's allowed on the back side.
Yeah, what's
Is
so,
it different?
yes.
Is it okay.
On the back side, it was a little more lenient.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah, we should
remember
definitely
that.
get a copy of the
Yeah.
PDD.
Yes.
Maybe Kelly can
Right.
see if there's
Yeah.
something
Get it- well,
specific in the code.
The reason, because I remember having this discussion with, I didn't understand why, but then the highway, they didn't want it, they just wanted it quick to be able to look at the sign
Mm-hmm.
and not much in there. Whereas in the parking lot, you're going at a slower speed, so they were a little more lenient, but not much.
I don't remember any of it at this point. It's been 25 years.
Yeah, I
So
know.
is this possible on the other side?
Well, I went through a bunch of the arguments with it.
Right.
That's why I remember it
All right.
for a few months.
So in the meantime, we'll check the PDD code and you can
And this is
redesign
for
the front.
both of them.
Correct.
Yeah, it's for both.
Mm-hmm.
And we have your
Yeah, there's
information.
nothing in the code, it's, I don't know if the planning board approved this special sign plan, but there's
Oh,
nothing specific in the code.
Yeah, Miss
I
Doyle?
think there is, Kelly.
Yeah. Miss Doyle, the planning board had nothing to do, it was a PDD, and it went to the town board and to the architectural review board.
Yeah, I looked at it in the code, I don't see anything specific about signs.
I think the planning board did went on their approval, because they had to approve the site plan.
Yeah,
They created some sign regulations within the approval resolution.
Okay, so that's what we have to find.
yeah.
Okay. So, we are adjourned.
Yes, well, yeah,
To the 5th of,
we will just hold this over until the next meeting.
Okay, where do I submit my new drawings to?
Oh, to Miss Riley,
Marjorie?
and to, if you want to preview quickly,
Yes, please.
you could do Mr. Taglavia to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you send it to the town, though, Carrie can forward it over to me. The same email that you submitted your application.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
So you're adjourned until March 5th.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you.
right,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Next on the agenda is 2200 Montauk Highway. And is the applicant available? Yeah, would you come up and state your name and your
My name
contact
is
information?
Bianca DiGiacomo. I work for Going Sign Company out in Plainview. So we are just proposing a double-faced monument sign for the, was previously B&B Bank, now it's a Dime Bank. And they also are gonna add their other tenant on there, Egan and Golden. So the first application is just the entire monument sign itself. It'll be non-illuminated, double-faced. It's gonna be a white MDF board. The blue outline will be engraved and painted. And then you have the address numerals as acrylic letters that will be painted as well.
Okay, is this a new sign?
Yes, there's nothing existing.
Okay, Ms. Keys is
Is
the
this-
lead.
So what goes on there?
So what, it'll be on applications 2 and 3. I had to
Okay.
do them separately.
Yeah.
So there'll be
Oh,
a
so this
dime-
is just for the monument itself and the
Yes.
letters?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay, then
And it's
that's
just
fine.
tempered glass for all of the applications. So like for the next one, for dime,
Tempered glass, or is it plexi?
tempered glass.
Okay, there are 3 signs then?
Yes, yeah, so there's a dime and then there's an Egan and Golden. I had to
Okay,
do all
and the
applications separate.
basic ones, so then we're gonna have to vote on
Yes.
with all 3.
Yeah.
So, okay,
This one first.
what?
Vote on this one.
Yeah, we're gonna vote on, yeah, just the monument with the 2200 on it,
So what's the size of it and the height?
or
The height of
2200.
it is 3'4" and the length of it is 6'8".
Okay, all right, and it's in the middle, okay. Can we see, where is it in the yard?
I have this. It's actually an old overlay, so ignore the brick, but this is where it's going to be.
Ah, perfect. Okay. Thank
So
you.
just so you can see it from
Mhm.
Montauk Highway.
Yeah. This is it.
And no lighting, you said? No,
No.
no lighting.
Nope,
Okay.
non-illuminated.
No, Isn't it gonna be internally lit? No?
Nope,
Okay.
won't be lit at all.
Okay, all right. Ms. Keys, comments?
I think it looks fine. I kind of think you might want to put some kind of safety lighting at the bottom of it if people are gonna walk by, but am I crazy? Other than that, I think it looks fine.
Is there lighting allowed to be put on the bottom
Well,
of it?
how close is it to the sidewalk?
I don't think we have that. I would have to double check.
Everything code from my recollection is 20 feet from the property line.
Yeah,
So it's, and the sidewalks, in the right of way. So it's gotta be more, at least 20 to 25 feet away, so I don't think that's an issue.
yeah, I don't believe it would be either, okay. Ms. Keys?
I think, I feel like we need to know exactly where it is on the lawn
Okay.
before we approve the placement of that. So with that, this particular sign, I see no problem with.
Okay, Mr. Rump, comments?
Is there a picture of the existing sign?
There's no existing sign.
Yeah, they don't have a monument out there. This is
No.
just a
I thought
big
they
dot.
did.
No,
Yeah, okay.
I don't think so, right?
I thought they did at one point.
They did.
Yeah?
Yeah, they did.
No, you're not wrong. They
Yeah,
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
They
it was
did,
brick-
it was a big brick facade, like when it was
Yes,
like
it was
Bridgehampton
a
National.
Bridgehampton.
Oh,
Yeah.
they did, right.
They
Yeah.
took it down,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
was there a survey submitted with the application?
Yes.
Can we see that?
I got this.
She just
That's
has the
all?
drawings.
Like that, yeah.
I didn't get this survey.
You didn't get the survey, okay.
Because the survey would show us.
Right.
Right.
All
Yeah,
right.
because see, that sign actually, looking at the road, it's a little too close.
Now, is the property line from the curb or is it from the sidewalk?
You know, see where the curb, and then the sidewalk, and then probably the trees are on the property line, are pretty close. So that, I believe code would be 20 feet back from the property line. So I think the survey, as Julie was talking about, is necessary for us to
Yeah.
make sure it's
Right.
correct.
It was submitted, it's just, I guess, not.
Okay, so we're gonna have to look at that. Okay,
I have no other issues.
no
Mr.
other
Chairman.
issues? Okay. Mr. Burke?
No issues.
Mr. Tagliavia?
No issues on the design?
I don't have any issues with it, other than the survey. We need to see the survey on that. Okay,
Well, can we just back up? Is that an issue for us to really deal with? As long as the sign meets the setback, the building department deals with that.
yeah, they can,
So
they
we can
handle it.
we're approving the design of the sign.
Yeah, I agree with
So we
Tim.
just
Yeah.
have to highlight.
Well, the design of the monument, yes.
Yeah, so
you're
we
right.
just have to highlight the fact that it should be noted that it's gotta meet code.
Yeah, and
placement,
that'll
so
take care of
I
it.
don't think, she has to come back for that.
Okay. And,
Totally agree.
do I hear a motion on this?
Okay, motion to approve with the caveat that it meets the setbacks.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve just the monument. This will be number one. We'll list them as number one. To approve the monument with the numbers on top and as described by us. And that it would meet, and the survey submitted, that it would meet the sign code as far as the setbacks. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Okay, that's approved.
I just dropped my.
9 times out of 10, Marge typically won't refer it to me if it
Is it
definitely
meeting
doesn't meet.
requirements?
Yeah.
So,
Ah.
just to put that out there.
Okay, yeah,
Double check that with her too,
Alright.
so.
okay. All right, next sign, this would be listed number 2, and it would be the dime
Yes.
insert.
So this is a dime insert. It's gonna be with tempered glass. They'll have all of their logo colors that they have for their branding. And it's gonna be a matte finish on this one. The blue is gonna be a matte finish, and the white as well.
Okay, Ms. Keys, comments?
This is on both sides of the monument, correct?
Yes.
So it has both sides. How thick is the tempered glass?
A 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah, I see.
Just curious, out of safety, but, okay.
We
that's
got them
about it.
engineered too, so.
Thank you.
It looks fine,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay, Mr. Rump, comments?
I have no issues, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Burke?
No issues.
Mr. Tagliavia?
No issues.
And I have no issues. Okay, do I hear a motion to approve as submitted?
Motion to approve as submitted.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion is to approve the sign number 2, which is the dime insert, as submitted.
Mhm.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. So that's approved. Now, sign number 3.
Sign number 3 is the other tenant in this building, Egan and Golden. These are all of their branded colors as well, and it's the same thing, a 1/4 inch thick glass, and they have all of their branded colors as well.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's the location of it that's
Yes.
going in. And what color?
Their color is European blue as well. Just one color.
Just one color?
Mhm.
Okay.
I
Ms.
see
Keys?
I see no problem with this, I have no question, thank you.
Okay, fine. Mr. Rump?
I have no issues, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Burke?
No, you're just reserving the third spot, is that? there's no-
Yes, if
nothing
anyone else
proposed
ever
right
moves
now?
it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No issue.
Mr. Tagliavia?
No issues.
And I have no issues with it. Do I hear a motion to approve as submitted?
Motion to approve as submitted.
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to approve as submitted. Sign number 3, which is, I can't read it,
Egan and Golden.
Egan and Golden, thank you. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. So fine, thank you,
Thank
that's
you.
approved.
Thank you.
Great, thank you
Good
guys.
presentation.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You
Right.
too.
Here's the Egan and Golden. All right, next on the agenda is a site plan review, Atlantic Golf Club, staff housing.
Mr. Chairman, I have to recuse myself.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rowe. Is the applicant available? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good morning, Wayne Bruin, O'Shea, Marcinsick and Bruin, on behalf of Atlantic Golf Club, Inc. This is a referral from the planning board of site plan review. This board may recall, may have seen this plan before. Just a little brief history. When Atlantic Golf Club was created, it had staff housing on the property. Thereafter, 4 applications converted certain portions of the existing barns to staff housing, and then the need for further staff housing arose. This portion of the property, which you can see on the site plan, if you may approach.
Yes.
Just briefly, this is the site plan, and there's smaller plans. But if you look at the key plan here, this is Scuttle Hole Road. This is to the north, comes down to Cook's Lane, the Noyak Path in the back. This is the golf course proper, the clubhouse being here, many of the former farm buildings and the like with the access here. And then we have Shorts Pond. The Atlantic Golf Club owns this portion that goes all the way around. This was an open field, a good portion in wooded. If you recall, when you come around Scuttle Hole Road, there's a portion where you get a good view of the pond, as well as from this direction. So trying to utilize this portion of the property, Atlantic proposed a 2-story building to house 16 additional employees on the property.
That's right.
So we currently have upwards of 100 employees, so this will take another 16 off the roads and house them on site. I don't know the exact year, but a few years ago we applied to the planning board. The planning board approved the site plan. This board reviewed the plans. The plans have not changed. I'll tell you some site conditions that have changed, but the plans have not changed. There was litigation brought by neighbors to the north, which resulted in a ZBA decision interpreting a section of the code, which resulted in the town board adopting legislation specifically for living quarters for employees of golf courses. That required us to reapply to the planning board for new approval, and that's what this application is. There is a public hearing on Thursday for that proposal. But this referral is basically for, again, this 2-story building. One of the things I mentioned that had changed is part of the site plan always called for plantings, which there was some existing Russian olive and other trees along the one house that was to our immediate north. We have since planted evergreen plantings here. That's actually physically there on the site. The other thing that occurred is there were 4 vacant parcels to the north, particularly to the back where it said now or formerly the Held family owned that, Shorts Pond Associates. The 2 immediate parcels immediately to our north and west were actually sold by the Held family to the town as open space. So they're now open space. The 2 other parcels they had immediately to the north, they sold to a builder. And if you've been by there, they built 2 houses, which are about 10 and 12,000 square feet. This is 2 floors, 6,500 square feet. So it's about twice the size of this building, those houses, as well as some of the houses you see to the north. The other thing they did, which we cannot do, is everybody to the north pretty much has shielded or planted green giant evergreens along their entire frontage. We have agreed with the planning board that we will not do any plantings immediately. We'll do plantings, as you can see in the landscape plan, in this area, but more importantly, there is a view shed that you see here. This is where the existing trees start, but this view shed as you're driving is what you see of the pond. We've agreed with a view shed easement with the planning board. The other thing the planning board asked us to do is when Atlantic was approved, there was a trail easement that ran along the north, but it ended at the pond because they weren't gonna go across the golf course. But since that was done, the water level of the pond has reduced, and now it may be possible to physically walk through here. And so Atlantic had agreed to give a continuation of the trail easement on their portion of the property across. And now with the town's acquisition, they have more flexibility how they can achieve that. So there's some of the elements, but more importantly for you, the building that we're proposing, traditional cedar shakes, and nothing's changed since the last time you reviewed it. So if you have any
Yeah.
further questions, be happy to.
Okay, Ms. Keys, you're the lead on this.
I thought that you had built this, I go by there every day, and I thought that you had built this house and that it was twice the size of what you reviewed, and I kept thinking.
Those other two houses.
Yeah,
so,
and I kept
No.
thinking, oh my God. And honestly, this is fine. I think this is fine. I think the same things we said, I remember this very specifically, and we talked about the view of the pond being important.
Right.
And for me, that's the most important thing as you go around that corner. So thank you for considering that, and I don't see anything wrong with this.
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Burke, comments, please?
No, I have no issues.
Okay, Mr. Tagliavia?
I agreed with Julie and the lead on this. The only
Yeah.
question I have is the siding. Is it gonna be natural cedar?
I believe so.
Okay, it's just the rendering that's making it look yellow.
I wish Tony hands over here, but.
Okay. And I can appreciate the concessions that, the owner of the property is making for the pond and also the path, so.
Yeah.
It says cedar shingles, so
Okay.
the question might be whether we're staining it or not. If you have a preference,
No, I think if
as opposed to natural weathering or versus a stain.
no, it doesn't matter as long as we approve that sample. If it's gonna go natural, we're okay approving it today, but if it's going to be a stain, we would wanna know that. So I don't know what the submission to the town was and what it stated as the color of the building, because that would have needed to be on the building
Yeah.
permit. Or the ARB paperwork. Did they fill that out?
No,
This
because
is a
it's
referral
not,
from the planning
it's a
board.
Oh,
referral
it's a
from planning, so
referral.
there, yeah. So I would assume it would say on that if it wasn't natural.
Do you mind if I take a look at the elevations quick?
Because it mentions other,
Well, I'm remembering when this came before us in the beginning. I don't believe you're gonna see this building anyway, are you?
Well, you will, to the
It's just
extent-
natural cedar.
Yeah, natural
Yeah,
cedar.
okay.
That's what
Yeah.
it is.
That's fine.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything.
So I have no further comments here.
Because it is screened in front though, partially, isn't it?
So again, when you're coming around the corner, you can see this line here is the existing tree line.
Yeah,
So you don't see anything until you get to this point where at the end of the
Directly in
trees.
front of it.
And
Yeah.
this is the open field, which is essentially this part is that open field.
Right.
So this will be there. We did try to shift this as far west or
Right.
southwest we could to get away from the neighbor. But on the other hand, trying to, and we worked with the planning board to identify this view shed.
Right.
So this line here is this so-called view shed. And the one thing, there were two trees here. One was a
Yeah.
cedar tree and a Russian olive. Since we moved the Russian olive being an invasive.
yeah.
The cedar tree, I don't know if it's remaining or not, but the landscape plan,
I think it's underneath.
so this, what you're seeing here is a
Yeah.
lot of low with a couple
Mm.
street
Mhm.
trees kind of thing. So-
So you're saying you moved the building since the.
No, I mean originally, when
Oh,
we
oh,
planned
oh.
it out.
Okay.
We had tried to, it was a balancing act, is on
Yeah.
one hand, trying to maximize anything
Got it.
or any
Mhm.
part of you. So you will see, at this point, you will see the building, but it's gonna be, we're gonna try to have screening, the
Right.
Uh-huh.
I'm not trying to screen the building, but on the
But
other
it's
hand,
gonna be
there's gonna
partially.
vegetation.
Yeah.
Partial screening then. Okay. All right, I don't have any issues. I was on this, I think it's, okay, I'll go with the lead on this. And what we'll do is a transfer letter will be sent to the planning board with our comments on this.
Okay, that would be great.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Christine, could you get Mr. Rump? Thank you.
I think it's great they're doing some scrap housing there. There's no other way
Yeah.
to do it.
No, you can't afford to buy it anywhere.
Yeah,
I made the mistake of saying to people, oh, it's coming from the city.
that area is, I mean,
No,
it's crowded,
no.
even though it's Scuttle Hole Road, it's really crowded in the summertime. So, anyway. Okay, that completes our agenda. Any further business to come before the board?
Motion to adjourn?
Yes, thank you.
Uh,
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made to adjourn and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Opposed? None. Thank you very much. Thanks.